Scituate, excuse my pronunciations, age 14.
Carmen Scituate, age 16.
Peter Wang, age 15.
"18. That's how old I am. That's my graduation year. That's how many school shootings have happened this year. 18. Let that sit with you for a few minutes. 17. 17 people are dead. Killed while on school grounds. 10 minutes before they were going to hear the last bell of the day. The last bell that would send them on their way. Swim practice, a dance class, a football locker room, a band practice, a friend's house, home. 17 people did not leave at that bell. 17 people will never leave at that last bell again. 14. 14 were students, ages 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Students just like you and me. On the morning of February 14th, every single one of them woke up and got ready for school. They went through their regular morning routine. Some running ahead of schedule, some running a little bit behind, but regardless, they all made it to school. Not once did it cross any of their minds that that would be the last time they saw their parents. The last time that they stepped foot into that building. The last time they sent a text, a Snapchat, liked a post on Instagram. The last time they did anything. None of them asked themselves whether or not they would be safe at school or not. It was just expected they would go to school for 6 hours and return home safe and sound. Reality is, 14 kids did not go home. Imagine your best friend, your sibling, the kid that sits up in front in every class, the class clown, the kid who's always talking, the quiet kid. Imagine them not being at school with you tomorrow. More than 3,000 kids are experiencing that. Siblings, friends, classmates, strangers. Every single student who attends Major East Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, lost someone in one of the worst ways to lose someone. Three were faculty members. The people who dedicate their lives to teaching kids like you and me. The reason we have an education. The reason we are able to be successful once we move on and graduate. These are the people who pledge to put their lives before ours without even having to sign their name on a contract. Why? Because they want to, not because they have to. Students in Parkland, Florida now go to school and sit in class. Not only are they missing classmates, but they are missing the soul of every classroom. A teacher, a mentor, a leader. A football team is missing one of the most important aspects, a coach. The person who helps to guide a team. The type of person kids like you and me look up to as more than just a coach. All three of these people did everything they could to save as many of their students as possible. Three who could still be here today had they not taken on the job of teaching. 1999. I was born this year. Almost 4 months before I was born, 13 people lost their lives. 12 students, 1 a staff member. This was the first deadliest math school shooting in the U.S. 2012, 26 people are killed. 20 are students ages 6 and 7. 6 are faculty members. This was the deadliest school shooting in United States history that occurred on elementary school grounds. 2018. As of today, there have been 291 school shootings in the U.S. since 2013. This averages to 1 school shooting per week over the course of the past 5 years. Almost 100 lives have been lost from school shootings alone in the United States. This is the highest number in the world. 34 children since 2012 had to lose their lives in one of the worst ways possible while at school. School is a place where every student, every teacher, every parent should feel safe. However, as American children, that is not our reality. Our reality is an 8-year-old girl coming home crying to her mother saying she wants new sneakers because hers light up and she doesn't want a shooter to see her first and kill her. Our reality is parents are pulling their children from school and homeschooling them because they don't want to have to go through the pain and the suffering that 17 families are currently facing. Our reality is that now every morning hundreds and thousands of students are scared for their lives, not knowing whether or not they will go home and see their parents, their siblings, their pets, their friends ever again. You and I and every single other American kid is living this nightmare regardless of whether they know it or not. We are now a nation that is known for sending their children to school where they are not guaranteed safety. Is this really how we want to live for the rest of our lives? In fear when really we should be learning? We all come to school for an education, but along the way we discover different things. Hobbies, friendships, growing up, college. These are just a few examples. However, what many of us miss out on as a society as a whole is community. Community. One word. One word can change an entire school. One word can change an entire district. One word can change an entire area. One word can change an entire nation. I can stand up here and talk to you all about school safety or debate weapon laws for days, but that is not why I stand up here in front of you all today. I stand up here today to express to you all who you are. You are all a part of a generation that lives with the fear of their lives being taken while at school. However, you are all individuals who have a voice. Use your voice. Stand up for what you believe in. Be the change that you want to see. Change doesn't start by sitting back and watching. Change starts with action, change starts with a voice, and change starts with you. As a student here at Scituate High School who isn't afraid to use my voice, I encourage each and every one of you to do the same. I stand up here for the 17 people who lost their lives a month ago. I stand up here for students who are suffering. I stand up here for the students who don't have a voice. I stand up here because I stand with all of you. 18. Remember that number? Forever that number will haunt each and every American as it was the year another school faced one of the worst tragedies in United States history. The year millions of students like you and I said enough, and that it's time for a change. Enough is enough, and it all starts here. We will be the generation to make a change, and we will be the generation that created a nation of voices. Thank you.
My name is Ryan Frankel. I'm 17 years old, and I'm a junior here at Scituate High School. For the past 16 years, my family and I lived in the town of Wilton, Connecticut, located just 45 minutes outside New York City. Now, living in an area like southwestern Connecticut, we know December 14th, 2012 very well. It's just one of those dates that we cannot forget. I was in my 6th grade math class when Adam Lanza slaughtered his way through Sandy Hook Elementary School, just 15, 20 minutes away from where I was in middle school. My teachers all had kids that attended Sandy Hook. I remember the fear and the tears rushing down their faces. We had no teachers for the rest of the day. No one told us anything about what happened. We were dismissed from school in small groups. Police cars were parked outside our school. That's when I knew something wasn't right. It just didn't feel right. I walked into my house to see my mom crying at the television. It's so hard to believe that this could have happened in a community just like Newtown, so close to home. I have friends who were affected by this firsthand, and it almost felt like every town in Connecticut took a bullet to the heart. It felt like I took a bullet to the heart. Weeks later, the panic attacks and the anxiety finally kicked in. That constant fear of someone after me trying to murder me in my sleep, murder me in school. Knowing that all children, not just at home, but throughout the rest of the country, were potential targets. My brother and I would close the curtains to the window next to our Christmas tree because of how afraid we were, even in our own home. Here we are 5 years later and over 1,600 mass shootings that include San Bernardino, including Sutherland Springs, including Charleston, including Orlando. And today we are remembering the 17 victims that were killed in their classrooms, and Congress still hasn't done anything. I may not have lived here long enough, but I want to make sure that no one in Scituate goes through the effects of gun violence from my experience. That's why I'm up here. I'm up here fighting for all of you. The students of Scituate High School, the staff of Scituate High School, the town, this amazing Commonwealth, and this amazing country. How would you feel if you had to do lockdown drills every month, knowing that this is so preventable? My dad lived in Michigan at the age of 10, and the only thing that he feared of most was a tornado. We can't stop weather from happening, but we can stop that perfect storm that is mass shootings, school shootings. More than 21.5% of kids aged between 13 and 18 live in an experience with a severe mental illness. That's 1 in 5 kids. So if that's the case, why are we not regulating who can purchase semi-automatic weapons? This isn't just a mental health issue. This isn't about the mass media and their news coverage. This is about our rights as teens, our 9th Amendment right for an education, being taken away from us so carelessly. You know, we as students, we as Americans, we all have something in common. We have dreams, passions to hope to fulfill someday. I want to be a freelance journalist. I want to travel the whole world. I want to go places where no one has ever gone. Go places where my own life could be at risk. I want to write my adventures and bring them back to people just like you, because we deserve the facts. When will the government realize that people like us have dreams to fulfill? But to fulfill those dreams, we deserve an education in schools where kids do feel safe to grow and thrive. I refuse to live in a mass shooting generation that I fear about being murdered with classmates that I'm still connecting with. That my classmates back home will have to relive their pain and sorrow from another mass shooting. That my parents will have to send their children to school with bulletproof backpacks. This is reality. Look at it. This is reality. That we carry a shield everywhere we go. Teachers are armed with guns in front of their students. To all the 18-year-olds in this audience and in this school, in this country, when November comes, get yourself out there and vote. Vote like no American has ever done before. Get involved with your local government. Contact your elected officials. Contact your congressmen, your senators. Show them who you are and what you're made of. Because the teens in this country, we will bring change from all political spectrums. Change will come. I'm a Promise leader for Sandy Hook Promise, a non-profit organization that helps educate students, teachers, and parents about the signs of a mass shooter and how to prevent mass shootings in our schools. Ever since I started here at Scituate, I've been pushing the school to work with this organization to learn from their initiatives. And now I think it's about time to continue to move in that direction. For the victims of Florida, we all are fighting for you. Continue to feel optimistic. Change will come someday, and we are the ones that will bring it. Together, we students, teachers, parents, friends, and families will come together to fight stronger than ever to make change happen. Now let's start a revolution, a teenage revolution. Thank you.
Okay, so before we go inside, Bert and I are going to sing a song so we can close it out and everybody goes back inside happy. If you know the words, you're welcome to sing along. No heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below. this only sky. Imagine all the people living for today.